So what actually is sourdough? If you've been on social media and you've seen people posting about them making homemade bread and sourdough, you might think that this is just a current trend or fad in today's world. But in all actuality, whenever you've heard about bread in ancient history, within the past few hundred years or few thousand years, this is how bread has always been made. If you've heard about bread in the Bible, this is the bread that they are talking about. But all the bread in today's grocery stores aren't really bread. I even hesitate to call them bread. White bread, even the whole wheat bread, even the sourdough bread in the grocery store, as I'm about to talk about, these aren't true breads. They last forever on the shelves. They're full of preservatives and other artificial ingredients, a long list of ingredients, and these just really aren't bread. But why would you want to consume sourdough in the first place? Why would you want to go through this entire process? Because this is a way that you can actually enjoy bread again and receive health benefits from it and not experience autoimmunity or digestive issues or sudden insulin spikes or skin issues or digestive issues when you consume grains. This is a way that you can consume bread again and feel good. Ancient cultures, humans have known for a long time. Since we started the agricultural revolution about 10,000 years ago, humans knew then that you couldn't just go up and start consuming grains without properly preparing them first, whether that is soaking or sprouting or fermenting, because this helps to reduce the defense chemicals in those grains. Now, all plants, whether that is leaves, stems, roots, nuts, and seeds, these all contain any varying degrees of defense chemicals. One of the most popular defense chemicals is gluten. This is a lectin that has been shown in the data to cause a level of autoimmunity. It causes leaky gut, it can cause skin issues, and in severe cases with individuals who are celiac, can cause even death. But when you learn how to make truly long fermented sourdough like we're gonna do today, the fermentation of these grains removes a lot of that gluten among other anti-nutrients. And this is what humans have been doing for thousands of years. We've just forgotten it or kind of pushed it to the side in our Western culture. And now we are growing up in a culture where we have forgotten these ancient plant preparation methods. Fermentation, soaking, and sprouting are what humans have always done to properly prepare their plants and their grains. But for the sake of just hitting their bottom line, it's more cost effective to not long ferment your sourdough. It's more cost effective to not sprout your rice. It's more cost effective to just use refined grains and put a long list of ingredients in there. Our digestive tracts aren't designed to break down and ferment grains like other species might. Just for example, ruminant animals like cows and bison, they have 4 stomachs. That's why they're called a ruminant animal, because one of their stomachs is called a rumen. And this stomach is literally designed to ferment the grasses that they eat. They regurgitate that and then re-swallow it into a different stomach so that way they can break that down properly. Human digestive tracts, on the other hand, we have one long esophagus into very acidic stomachs. Then we have a long small intestine and a short colon. This digestive tract is really good for breaking down animal proteins. We don't have the type of digestive tract that is designed to ferment the grains internally. What humans have done throughout a very long time is we've evolved to ferment our foods externally. Remember that. When people talk about grains being healthy, there's context. In today's modern world, the way we consume grains is completely different than how we've always consumed grains. The way humans have consumed grains throughout all of history, it's always been fermented, soaked, or sprouted, or prepared another traditional way, so that way these defense chemicals can be limited and we can actually digest and absorb the nutrients found in those grains. Today, we just often consume grains every day without them going through the proper preparation methods. So if you're new to your sourdough journey and you love consuming grains like I do, this can really be that thing that helps you to be able to enjoy grains in a healthful way. But you might be thinking, Craig, what about sourdough from the grocery store? Is that good? Tell me about that. Well, if you look on the back of a sourdough label and you see any type of ingredients that say acid in it, lactic acid or citric acid or some other form of acid, that is an ingredient that companies use to bypass the fermentation process. You might as well just be consuming white bread, Wonder Bread at that point, because that's the same thing nutritionally. Truly long fermented sourdough should only have 3 ingredients: water, flour, and salt. And of course, bacteria and yeast, but that's gonna come when we ferment this. Bacteria and yeast are gonna be created from this living culture that we're about to create.